So this is my third try at this video. Okay, good morning. This is going to be the first part of my YouTube video of the day. I just had an epiphany this morning and I had to absolutely share. Okay, so to manifest what you want, you must use your words and tell God exactly what you want, because or else God won't act on it. We all have freedom of choice. Okay, so God has a plan for us, but we have freedom of choice to veto whatever God thought of, right? And so you need to say it to God. You don't have to say it to anyone else. You need to say it to God in your prayers, in your thoughts. Well, in your time alone, say it. Make sure you're alone, but say it to God. Okay? Now, and I say this because it literally says this in the Bible. John. Okay, so John 1, verse 1. Okay, I'm going to read it because we got to. Okay, so it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And if you think about it, okay, what is God? God is energy. This is my perspective, my perception. If you don't believe it, that's perfectly fine. But ultimately, because somewhere else, I think in the Old Testament, which was part of the Torah, but in the Old Testament, it says that humans were created in the image of God. And we, in my mind, we cannot physically be made in the image of God, because God is energetic. God is a thought. God is, oh my goodness, God is consciousness. God is knowing thyself, right? And I say this from personal experience because for those of you who are aware, when I was in that coma, I don't know if I actually said this, but in the coma, all right, the only way I knew I was alive, because this was my thought process, okay, in my coma. It was, okay, it's a very long nap. What's going on? Am I alive? Am I dead? What's happening? Because it was just, I didn't even have a body. And there was no physical, nothing. It was just pitch black. I was like, okay, this is weird. This is weird. What's going on, right? So, like, I didn't know, but, like, I knew that I was still there. I didn't know how, but I knew that I existed. Okay, well, I might have been dead or I might have been alive, but all I knew was that I existed. And if I had no body, and I'm gonna go back into like Descartes' like thought process, it's insane, because I took a philosophy class in university, which talked solely of Descartes. Okay. And the entire, like, when we did Descartes, I was like, I went to my teacher, I'm like, oh my gosh, I completely understand what he's saying, because I've lived this myself. I've lived it. I was in a coma. I was in such a long coma that when I woke up in my mind, before I physically woke up, I was like, what's going on? Literally, because I was like, why don't I see anyone? Why am I alone? Why do I have a feeling of being safe, secure, like supported, but like not being able to like see anyone else, talk to anyone else, not being hungry, nothing. I was like in complete bliss. That was what it was. I was like, oh my God, right? That's what it was, when you're with God, that's what it was. I did not see God. I didn't see anything. I just saw pitch black. It was like black around me. But anyway, I digress. So your words create the reality that you are living currently. Okay? But your words are to describe the thought process in your mind. And I feel like God is more of a thought, is more of an energy. Okay, have you read Big Magic from the writer of Eat, Pray, Love? It's basically what she says. Inspiration goes around, touches people. Some people don't want to go in that direction. Other people do, and that's fine. The thought goes to someone else who wants to stick with it, right? So, and this is I'm pretty sure this is an inspiration, a thought, like God being like, ding, here you go. But what I want to say, okay, is that with your thoughts, you get desires, you get ideas you want to share with others, and those ideas you share with words, and you create, and those words create the reality you want. So if you want to make sure to manifest what you want, what you need to do is think of only what you want, and that's it. Not how you're gonna, like, avoid thinking of how you'll get it, avoid thinking about when you'll get it, avoid thinking about all those little details. Now, you being human, we being human, we can put those parameters and be like, okay, so I want to create this by this time, but then don't be stuck to the idea that it will be created by that time. It might not. Just be open to the possibility, but give yourself, I've had conversations with my dad. He's like, no, you have to put in a due date, right? And then I'm like, yeah, but my creative juices won't flow. And he's like, I don't care, put a due date and make sure that you make it happen by that time. I'm like, okay, I don't do it. But that's not important. The important thing is that the reason why I'm pretty sure he said put a due date is that you can, even if you don't complete it by that time, you will continually work on it and improve it and improve it. And I don't need a due date to continuously work on something, to continuously bring myself back to it. I just know that I want to create it, which is something that a coach of mine, Christopher Duncan, talks a lot about. We, as human beings, okay, we are made in the image of God. We are creators, okay? We create. And if you really want what you want to be created in the best possible way and shape and form, you have to create it because you love it, which is something Christopher Duncan talks a lot about. Create it because you love it, not because you feel attached to it. You create it because you love it. That's it. You love doing it. That's why you create it. Take the stress out. Create just because you love it. That's why they say go for what makes you happy. Create it just because you love it. Okay, so this is going to be the first part of the video. And if I change in between, that's perfectly normal. It's because the other part is coming later. Okay. I'm filming this right when I woke up. Just saying. Yes, so here I am, different get up. And as I said, I'm going to have a continuation of whatever I started this morning. So what came to my mind after I filmed that part is that there is no way for you to know when it is going to be, when what you want to manifest is going to come in. It's called divine timing for a specific reason. It happens on God's time, not on your time. And it is very annoying. It is very... It pushes buttons. Let's just say it pushes a lot of buttons. So you just have to be patient. Or what I believe in my heart of hearts is that if this is really divinely guided, well, God will be the one to step in and will be like, dude, you took your time. I gave you the exact package you wanted, and you're not taking advantage of it. Shame on you. Shame on you. Then he takes the package away and gives it to someone else. I'm actually quite going to find that funny. But in either case, what I wanted to get to is just live your life, and everything will unfold naturally. And there, as I said, there was no way for you to know when it's coming in. It'll come in when it'll come in. So this is what I mean when I said it's going to demand a lot of patience from your part, and a lot of understanding, and a lot of letting go of, and forgiving, and being accepting, and all that jazz, you know. So just continue living your life. You have no control. Divine timing is at play here, my friends. Divine timing. Yes. So that is the entirety of all what I wanted to say today in this video. So what are you waiting for? And will you wait for long? Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, on YouTube here, to get more information. Enjoy.